I'm getting ready to mount this drawing onto the paper that has all this tissue paper on it. I've let it dry thoroughly. This is about where I want it, and I'm going to make a couple of little marks near the top of my paper to give me an idea of where to place it. Next thing I'm going to do is roll this up onto this tube and put it off to the side. There are the marks right there, and I'm going to apply my adhesive nice and thick right over top of this. It's especially important to apply it thickly over the tissue paper in order to make sure you can get it to lie as flat as possible once you roll it out. So I got it close to the marks, but once it's down, and so I just let it be what it is and unroll it as smoothly as possible, and then quickly grab a piece of blank tissue paper and rub it out without the air bubbles. Being careful not to let this blank piece of tissue paper get stuck. And I can continue working on it after it dries. Sometimes the edges need a little extra love to make sure that they're stuck down nice and solid. I'm being very gentle, careful not to rip the tissue paper. I'm going to use this small drawing drawn on a half-size board with a piece of paper that is half the size of the pieces of paper we use for the big boards. I'm going to use this one to demonstrate something else that you can do when you're coloring and mounting. Because of the tissue paper being transparent, you can put things underneath. And I'm just going to use these bits of colored tissue paper and just place them kind of randomly, just ripping them. I'm using these colors because right now it is the beginning of November in the northeastern part of the United States where I live, and I am inspired by the changing leaves. So here we go. I'm going to do this fairly quickly using the same adhesive I use when I'm coloring and mounting to stick the tissue paper on. I'm going to do it kind of randomly without even worrying too much about where the image will be placed later on, because I'm trying to do a quick demo here. So sticking on a bunch of these pieces of tissue paper. Every which way here. I did a drawing image similar to this earlier in the fall, which had a lot more oranges and yellows, but now since it's November, I'm inspired to use more brown. So I'll put some of those on. I had the unique pleasure of working with a group of adults with developmental disabilities, and one thing they really enjoyed was randomly sticking bits of colored tissue paper all over a piece of whiteboard and then just choosing any one of the touch drawings they had done with me and putting it on top, and the results were just beautiful, and it was really fun too. All right, I'm going to let that dry and then come back and do the next part.